accident. Hold on, give me a second. Uh-oh.
Tell them to wait.
Hold on, give me a second. Where's my match? Why did he pick second?
Flo, tag him in, and then also tell him to wait until
hold on. Hold on, just my tag button isn't there. There it is. I found it. Give me 1 second. I don't know why he picked second.
You can press tilde, I think, and that's the hotkey for tag out.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Be. There you go. And tell him to.
My bad. I was trying to find the button. Yeah, Panda kind of messed up again. Oh my god.
Oh, he just went.
Well, it looks like Bison's just kind of going for it right now. He's getting that initial damage. No, this round's gonna be a playthrough. No, I think it's being played through.
It's live. All right. That sucks, man. That really does suck. Panda starting on the back foot because of that. But the match is continuing to be played. Bison continuously spinning, trying to go for the parry. But Panda is going to be very wary not to get hit by it. A mine is down, and he's actually going for the cat. Here comes big damage on the cat. It's nearly dead. Oh, and it just barely gets away. Defensive position for Panda Stick's cat. That's going to heal him up just a little bit. But now Bison setting his focus onto the summoner. Tab used by the Destroyer to get out of the cat grapple. And a good invul, and he sends Panda into the air. That was a beautiful flame wheel from Bison. And that's giving him some opportunity of pressure. Panda actually hits into the ground counter. And Bison putting up pressure. Panda Stick now on the back foot, having to use his escape, and we saw this situation last time, but it's a little bit different now. Bison is very low on health. The game could end in just a few moments. Bison desperately trying to find some way to get out of the situation, and he loses again in a situation where Panda had not the most ideal opener.
Sorry about that. I just finished fixing the majority of the technical difficulties. That's my bad, because my tilde button actually didn't work. So
hey,
I was
Flo,
like,
don't forget to switch to the intermission screen, bro.
Yeah.
Alright.
My bad. Like I said, I was just like, why is it not working? I was fixing it in the background. But yeah, anyways, it looks to me like Bison had the advantage right off the bat, like despite the fact that it was kind of like a bit weird going off in the beginning. That's entirely my fault. At the same time, he picked second. But despite the fact that Bison had that initial advantage, I guess it was kind of awkward and Panda just managing to clutch it there.
So Panda moves on to the semifinals once again. He is back, boys. He
Panda
represented in the finals, I think, in the first one, and the semifinals in the second one, and now he's demonstrating the consistency, the power of the great Chinese panda. I don't actually know if it's Chinese, but he will move on. Bison, unfortunately, being knocked out.
If you watch those matches, though, it was clear that Panda Stick really had a really good understanding of how to fight Destroyer. It's pretty much right off the bat, Panda constantly had advantage over each round. Every time that Bison tried to open up, the opener would be stopped by Panda in 3 different ways, either using his dandelion, which is the little like flower that he's waving up into his hand, and or he would use his bubble, or he would just really play his zones really well before he actually manages to launch his cat over onto Bison.
Alright.
Hold on. BRB 30 seconds. Alright, are we playing the third set?
No, Panda moves on. He won.
Yeah, Panda moves on. Why are they ready?
So we're gonna keep the party because the next match is Ponthanenda.
Oh, right.
So this time we're just gonna ready up, go in, and we're just gonna have
that works out.
Ponthanenda coming in.
So now we've got, this is gonna be a pretty big match. We got 2 of the previous Imperial tournament winners here, with Enda actually holding 2 titles and Pomp holding 1. We actually, from a shoutcaster's point of view, we didn't actually expect both Panda Stick and Pomp to play in the tournament. Like they both initially said before the tournament started that they don't even know if they're gonna play, and now they're actually deciding to come in, making the tournament a lot more interesting. And overall, I think that, like I was saying before, the top half of the brackets has most of the contenders for the tournament, like potential winners, all in one place. So it's definitely going to be a lot more interesting, especially with Blade versus Blade Dancer versus Destroyer.
Yeah. This could definitely be a finals match of an Imperial tournament. So we're just gonna wait for, I think, Bison. We're waiting for Bison to ready up. Is anybody on your side not ready?
They're both ready. I'm just fixing the class images real quick so that everyone understands what's going on.
Okay. And then we'll be moving on into the next match. Really well done by Panda. I'm actually very impressed. I really enjoy watching him play. I think in the previous tournaments, it was a little unfortunate. Like, Panda was a little bit griefed by the tournament format, not being able to open the match with his Spirit Run, and then other times he, had a bunch of not really making excuses for him, but it was really hard to see Panda play out his game, because a lot of his matches, like, weird things happened. And this is one of the first times that we can see on stream, like, what he can do, and I think he did really well. So I'm happy that he's moving on to the semifinals, but our attention now must be refocused
on Pomp and Enda.
Yeah, on
Are you ready on your side?
Yep, I'm going to send you the spar invite,
okay.
And make sure we're telling Enda to queue on first, since now...
Oh, it's not Enda that's messing up. We gotta make sure Panda picks second. Like, stops
well, Panda's big paws, they can't really handle keyboards that well,
yeah.
So don't really blame him. Actually, do you even call those paws? Those paws on hands?
I believe so. It's either that or just big bare hands. I don't know what's going on here. I think everything should be good. Did he mess up again?
No. I don't think so. Alright, so we have everybody readied up. Enda should be going first. Pomp versus Enda. Best of 3 because we are in the quarterfinals still. And let's make sure we clear out the match and set. We're at 0-0, fresh start. This is 2 Imperial Tournament first place winners going up against each other. Enda, a 2-time winner, and Pomf, our most recently crowned champion. Blade Dancer versus Destroyer, getting right into it. Enda pushing up aggressively, gonna use his Flame Wheel. Very smartly done by Pomf to wait, and he's gonna use his Blade Barrier. Fire Spin by Enda is gonna prevent Pomf from getting much CC off on him, and a good Axe Throw is gonna cause
There's a tab coming in from Pomf. If you know right now, they actually both open up with defensive mechanisms. There's the damage coming in from Enda. Trying to see if you can all in right here, getting Pomf to 50%. But there's the counter coming in. There's the 5-point strike, getting Enda right into the air with the follow-up force grip, getting his chi back, trying to see if he can come back right now. There's the blue buff coming from Enda. Actually, back and forth, like defensive play coming from both players right now. Really trying to clutch it.
Another Blade Barrier for Pomf. So he's going to be safe for a little while, and his tab should be coming back up since he used it so early. So that moment of danger for Pomf has probably passed in just a bit. A good choice to delay and to use the counter, and Pomf pulled him in with his Vortex skill. Back roll by Enda, not punished by Pomf, but right now, tab still available for both players, so not in danger of being absolutely destroyed quite yet, but it could still be a very explosive match. And I cannot believe actually Enda dropped his combo there. I really felt like it could have been the end of the match, but of course Enda going for the more defensive setup. And he actually gets out of combat. That's going to earn him a jump, and that's going to force the back roll from Pomf, and he's going to open his Blade Barrier, giving him the air combo. Let's see what he does on the knockdown. Immediately goes into grab. He's going to get another combo off of this. Perhaps he's going to use 5-point. He lets him drop, and he actually gets parried by the
Getting the deflect down. Here comes Enda, jumping in for the kill, trying to establish the kill. But Pomp both escaping with his tech and getting that vacuum right down.
Ooh, a blue buff popped, and that was a very scary situation. I think there were a few misplays from both players there, and Enda's going to end the match with the fire spin. And there were a few very complex interactions that happened right at that moment. Pomf was actually put in a very bad situation because he got stunned with his tab down, but the thing that Enda opted to do was use his grab. And that allowed Pomf, that activated Pomf's ability to use his Blade Call to actually break out of the grab. And then going from there, Pomf got free, and he was able to commit actions, and he actually hit into Enda's parry. So there were the mistakes just went back and forth. I felt like this was a very sloppy game for both players, but you know, sloppiness happens from time to time in Blade and Soul PvP. What really matters is how you recover and your flexibility in those moments of confusion.
I really feel like I really disagree with you there. I felt like that was a lot more well played from both the sides, just simply because they're both aware of how well the other player, like what the capabilities of the other player is, and because of that, you notice right off the bat they both actually open up defensively, like Endo opening up with his Fire Spin and his Firestorm, and with Pomp actually open up with his Blade Barrier right off the bat. So we're looking at both these players in a sense respecting each other's gameplay, their damage, and just really just like back and forth defensive play. We've got blue buff from Destroyer, or we've got Blade Barrier from the Blade Dancer. So we were looking at both the classes actually juggling and like cycling their defensive abilities, just so they can make themselves an opening in order to establish damage.
That's true, and Pomp, you know, very known to be an aggressive player, and he pops his defensive abilities very quickly. And one of the things that I would like to think about right now is, because Enda is running that blue buff, it's much better for him defensively, but I guarantee you if he had red buff, if he had rage in that moment, Pomp was dead. Like, he had no tab, he was put into CC, into stuns. Enda had everything up. I'm pretty sure in that moment, Pomp would have been dead meat if Enda had his red buff. But
and now we're going right into the second round right here. Let's see if both players will be opening up the same way. And actually getting this initial lead right off the bat, getting that damage, forcing Pomp to actually blow his tab right off the bat, and responding with his Blade Barrier right here. Looks like it's going to be a bit slow again. Endo once again respecting the damage, getting that Fire Spin, completely countering Pomp's attempt to get damage.
He's got the red buff this time.
He's mixing it up real quick, trying to get that massive damage coming down.
No CC, and Pomp is already down to 10%. Enda actually nearly ended the match there. And he's going to get the follow-up CC on the F roll by Pomp, but Pomp gets up scot-free.
That was an awesome play from Enda. Even though Enda knew that he had a really big advantage, he made sure to grab Pomp and put him by the wall so that even if he gets knocked back by the Blade Burst, he's still in position to do damage. But here comes Pomp right here, really showing why he is a previous Imperial winner, getting that damage down on Enda, just turning right back around, not giving up.
Pomp tried to go for the 5-point, Enda smelled it, and he just continued spinning, and that's going to give him the parry stun and end the match for Pomp. So Enda's going to take the second match. He moves up 1-0. And I agree with you, you know, there was some very interesting back and forth, and Pomp finally was able to put some very solid damage onto Enda with big animation canceling and blade draw, but it just didn't matter at that point. Enda had done so much damage to Pomp with the very smart choice of popping that red buff. I mean, there was no CC, man. Pomp was
the biggest
just
difference
running around
between both of these games, are both this round compared to the last round, is that Enda actually managed to just run in there and get his leap off the bat. And because of that initial pressure, he forced Pomp to blow his tab, blow his escape right away. And so once that happens, and with surprisingly Enda respecting red buff, rage right off the bat, he's just like, this is my time to do as much damage as possible in the shortest amount of time. And he really controlled it. He managed to just keep up that damage, not even getting deflected by Pomp spins, pulling over to the wall. This is so much good plays going down from Enda in that match.
Well, I think during the red buff he actually can't get stunned. You might have to double check on that, but it was definitely, you know, Pomp, I feel like he was caught off guard a little bit. Lost a huge chunk of health. So Enda's going to take the second one, and this seems to be the thing that, you know, time and time again, when we see Enda play in tournaments, he's very good at playing the player, not necessarily the matchup, right? And I think normally, for example, the whole thing with the blue buff, red buff, right? The safety as opposed to the aggression, and what your opponent expects and when you're going to use it. And I think it was a very smart choice by Enda. And now you're not sure, you know, is Enda going to come in and switch his buff again? Is he going to go back to playing defensively? Maybe he's trying to mind game Pomp, you know? Maybe Pomp is like, okay, I have to be careful, you know? He has red buff, but this means that if I catch him in CC, he won't have that extra option for avoiding my stuns.
And he's just mixing it up to make sure that, like, he keeps Pomp guessing. Like, he just does not want a repeat of things that's going on. He basically he doesn't want the same scenario to be going on. He wants to keep Pomp guessing, force him to play defensively. That way he can get that advantage.
Yep. Alright, so we're going to move into the second set here between Pomp and Enda. Enda is up 1. If he wins one more set, he's going to take the match and move on to the semifinals. And unfortunately, Pomp, the previous tournament winner, could get knocked out at this moment in time. I don't know if you would call it an upset, but certainly not the result that we were expecting Pomp to come out of this tournament with. Blade Bear